Hello friends and welcome to my new video. This particular episode is a special one for me because as we enter the month of June and we are nearly halfway into the year, I thought this was the perfect time for me to make a list of some of my favorite movies that I have seen in the year so far. And although some of these movies on the list may be movies that you have heard from me in my earlier videos, I still thought it's a good idea to make a compilation of some of my favorite movies in the first 6 months of the year. Before I start my list, some pointers as always, that this list is a very personal choice, and hence it may differ from some of your lists. You may find some of your favorite movies not in the list, and vice versa. But so be it. As I said, this is a very personal choice. And also, this list is in no particular order. The movies are selected randomly and spoken about, excepting the top three. The top three are my three most favorite movies of the year so far. But other than that, the 12 movies that I have chosen will be discussed and shared with you in random order. There is no particular order of these films. But before I start talking about these 12 movies, I just thought I'll share with you a couple of more movies which didn't quite make it into my top 12, but at the same time I thought they were worth mentioning as a special mention because they are, in their own way, wonderful movies. The first one actually is one-fourth of a movie. It's from a series of short films called Ajib Dastan and Dastans, and it's a collection of 4 short films. And my favorite out of this is this movie called Ankahi, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful movie. And it's as a special mention. It doesn't make it in the top 12, but a beautiful movie all the same. Ankahi from Ajib Dastans. The next movie I want to talk about, again, not quite in the top 12 but yet worth a mention, is Dibakar Banerjee's Sandeep Aur Pinky Farar. Now, I know I had said in my earlier episode that I found this movie disappointing, and I still stand by it because maybe my expectations out of a Dibakar Banerjee movie are higher than what this movie gave me. But on the whole, I think Sandeep Aur Pinky Farar is a good step for Hindi cinema this year, and it's amongst the better Hindi movies that have come out in the first 6 months, so definitely worth a mention. The third movie I want to talk about, which doesn't quite make it in the top 12, is technically cheating actually, because this movie is from 2019, but it was officially released on an OTT channel this year. So I have found that as a very convenient reason to include it in my list of favorites, because it is a huge favorite of mine, and it is the Bengali movie Tariq, directed by Chunni Ganguly. It's a fantastic movie. It's as I said, released a couple of years earlier, but it made its official OTT debut this year, and hence I used that as an excuse to include it in my list of favorite movies of the first 6 months. Tariq, directed by Chunni Ganguly. This is available in the Bengali OTT channel Hoichoi. So do try and see it if you can. It's a wonderful film. Now to start my 12 most favorite movies of the year so far. And at number 12 is the Tamil movie Anbir Kinniyal, directed by Gokul and starring Arvind Pandyan and Kirti Pandyan. And it's a fantastic movie. It's a fantastic Tamil thriller. It's based on, or it's a remake of the Malayalam movie Helen, which is fantastic in any case. But even though this is a remake, on its own, Anbir Kinniyal is a wonderful movie, not to be missed. Do check it out if you haven't seen it as yet. The next movie, number 11, is the hard-hitting Nayattu, and directed by Martin Prakat and starring Joji George and Nimesha Sajawan and Conchako George. It's a hard-hitting police drama where the police, three policemen are running away from other cops as they get involved unwittingly in a car crash. And it's got a backdrop of caste politics and corruption in the system. It's a hard-hitting and very, very raw and stark movie, but wonderful all the same. Nayattu, directed by Martin Prakat, is at number 11. At number 10 in my list is Bhaglet, starring Sania Malhotra and directed by Umesh Pist. A wonderfully warm film, a wonderfully humane and heart-tugging and heartwarming movie. It's about it deals with death, and yet it is so close to life. It is so beautifully made and brilliantly acted by Sania Malhotra and the rest of the cast. It's definitely one of my favorite movies I've seen so far this year. Bhaglet, directed by Umesh Pist. At number 9 is this movie, predominantly a Hindi movie, but a lot of Punjabi dialogue as well. And it's called Milestone, directed by Arvind Iyer, and it stars Suvinder Vicky and Lakshveer Saran in the lead roles. And it's a fantastic movie. It's atmospheric, it's poetic, it's a brilliant movie. It's a movie about a truck driver whose life changes with a personal tragedy, and how he realizes that maybe after a certain age his days as a truck driver are numbered, and he may soon be replaced by a younger, more agile driver. And there's not much of a plot in the movie, but it's so beautifully made. It's so wonderfully made. It's, as I said, it's the sheer poetry that this movie conveys in its imagery, in the landscapes and the acting, and it's just overall a brilliant, brilliant movie. I don't think enough has been spoken about Milestone as much as it should, according to me. It's definitely one of the better movies I've seen this year so far. Don't miss it, it's on Netflix. Milestone, directed by Arvind Iyer. At number 8 is a Tamil movie called Karnan, directed by Mari Selvaraj and starring the superstar Dhanush. And it's a fantastic movie. Once again, it's a movie about caste system and the have-nots of society, and how when the water goes over the head for them, eventually it's time for a violent and bloody revolution. That's what Karnan is about, and it is superb. It is an absolutely stunner of a movie, and Dhanush puts in a larger-than-life performance, and it's a must-watch. The Tamil movie Karnan at number 8. At number 7 is a movie which I think would rank in most people's list of best movies of the year so far, and it is there in my list as well. It's Geo Baby's The Great Indian Kitchen. It's a wonderfully told story, a story that all of us are familiar with and a lot of us don't want to admit to, but it's a story of the reality of the patriarchal system of our society, and it's been depicted absolutely brilliantly by Geo Baby. The Great Indian Kitchen makes uncomfortable viewing at times. It definitely is not very easy or pleasing to see, but it's real, it's honest, it's brutal, without being over the top. Daily mundane incidents, daily mundane routine stuff are shown in the movie, but the way they are shown, it'll make you uncomfortable. It'll make you realize a lot of things about yourself, perhaps. and it's a fantastic movie, not to be missed. The Great Indian Kitchen at number 7. At number 6 is a movie that really pleased me when I saw it for the first time, and it was a complete surprise and like a breath of fresh air when I saw it. And it's a brilliant Tamil movie, Mandela. Mandela stars Yogi Babu in the lead role, the title role of Nelson Mandela, and it's a it's a social satire on the divisiveness of India, and how we are a land divided by caste and creed and politics. But it tells us a lot of unpleasant things about our society, but in a warm and funny manner. And it's a fantastic movie, and directed by Madonna Ashwin. Mandela, for me, was one of the finds of the year. It's a superb movie, not to be missed. I think Mandela was shown on Prime. I don't remember very clearly, but I think mostly it was on Amazon Prime. So do watch Mandela if you haven't. It's a wonderful movie. At number 5 is, like Mandela, another movie which I found by chance and absolutely fell in love with. It's the Gaurav Mehra directed Jamun, Hindi movie Jamun, and it stars Shweta Basu Prasad and Raghuveer Yadav in the title role of Jamun. And it's a beautiful, heartwarming, wonderful movie about hope and positivity. It's a movie essentially based on a father-daughter relationship, but it's so much more than just that. And it's the beauty of Jamun lies in its simplicity, in its absolute warm and lovely way the movie is made. Excellent performances by both Shweta Basu Prasad and Raghuveer Yadav. The surprise package of the year for me, definitely, Jamun. Showing at Eros now, the OTT Eros now. Don't miss it. Do watch Jamun. It's a wonderful movie. At number 4 is another Malayalam movie directed by Sanu John Verghese, and it's the brilliant Arkariam. And I really don't know how to classify this movie or what genre to put this movie under. It could be, I think, human drama is the closest I can come to defining this movie. But it's a beautiful movie. It's a movie about a couple living in Bombay who face tough times during the pandemic and decide to move back to the girl's father's house in Kerala. And what happens once they go there is what the movie is about. It's a beautiful movie, Arkariam. It's there on Amazon Prime. Do watch it. It has some fantastic performances by Biju Menon and Sharafuddin and of course Parvati. And it's a superb movie. It's definitely, one of the best movies I have seen in this year so far. Don't miss Arkariam. Now for my top 3 movies, and these are in order. And at number 3 is the absolutely stunning Kala. It's a superb movie. There is something about Malayalam cinema which is so brilliant, and it's been a new discovery for me, a relatively new discovery for me, especially this year. But Kala is one of the finest pieces of cinema I've seen. To describe Kala would take me an entire episode. Actually, it needs such detailed discussion. But on the whole, it's a movie about the struggles between the haves and the have-nots, and the entitled and the underprivileged. It's a battle between the entitled ones of society and the underprivileged ones in society. And Tovino Thomas and Somesh Moore put up absolutely brilliant performances. A word of caution, Kala is an extremely violent movie, and the last half an hour to 40 minutes of the movie is very brutal, gory and violent. But even the violence has been depicted by director Rohit VS in such a poetic manner. It's a sheer masterclass in movie making, and I'm amazed at the quality of cinema Malayalam cinema is giving us. It's absolutely unbelievable. Do watch Kala if you have the stomach to withstand the last half an hour, 40 minutes, which is, as I said, really graphic and brutal. But on the whole, it's a fantastic piece of filmmaking. Kala, directed by Rohit VS. This now leaves me with the top two films, and at number 2 is Jeetu Joseph's brilliant sequel to his equally brilliant Drishyam. I, for one, could have never imagined such a magnificent extension of Drishyam. I really didn't know how Drishyam could ever be extended and the story taken forward. But here Jeetu Joseph shows us how it can be. And Mohanlal is absolutely fantastic as George Kutty, and someone who is strong enough to stand by his family and save them yet again. Drishyam 2 starts off slow in pace, and the first half an hour, 45 minutes is really building up the characters, and is an uneasy sense of calm when you know that things cannot be like this for too long, and things will start happening and unraveling. And that's exactly what happens post interval, where the movie picks up pace and takes some unexpected and superb twists and turns. For me, my number 2 movie of the year so far, Drishyam 2. Fantastic. And that leaves me with number 1, and no doubt in my mind that out of all the movies I have seen in these 6 months, and I've seen a lot thanks to the pandemic and thanks to being at home for such large periods of time. I've seen a lot of cinema on OTTs and DVDs. But I have no doubt in my mind that so far the best movie of the year for me has been Joji, directed by Dilesh Prothan and starring the wonderful Fahad Fazil. Joji is a cinematic masterpiece. It's nothing short of that. The umpteenth remake of Macbeth may sound like a drag or bore to people who've seen various other versions, but just see Joji for its magnificence, for the editing, for the soundtrack, for the cinematography, for the direction, and not in the least for Fahad Fazil in the title role of Joji. It's a magnificent movie which I can see time and time again, and the best movie of the year for me so far, Joji. So well, these were my favorite films of the first 6 months of the year. I hope you've seen most of them, and if you haven't seen a few of these, you can very well watch them on either Amazon Prime or Netflix. Most of the movies are available on one of these two OTTs. A couple are available on Hoichoi, the Bengali channel, and Eros Now OTT. But otherwise, the most of the others are there on Amazon Prime or Netflix. Do watch them if you haven't. And in case I've missed out any of your favorite films in my list, please do mention them in the comment section. And if I haven't seen them, I'll definitely watch them. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and until the next time, bye for now.